Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer rebuilds with a twist. We're going to throw a twist into this one. And the twist is there's going to be some live streaming. I know, exciting or what? Yeah, well, put yourself in my shoes. I'm a bag of nerves. Anyway, so the premise is, and by the way, I've nicked this off another content creator, so don't tell anybody. So the premise is we're going to do the usual YouTube video where we play 2 games live, commentate on them and all that malarkey. But the games that I play normally off camera and any transfer windows or anything like that, anything that's done off camera will be live streamed. So this is not going to be a simulation. It's going to be a rebuild, but it's going to be a play along, if you will. And like I say, it's going to have 2 elements to it. And don't worry if you can't watch the the YouTube video and the live stream as well. I will be doing catch-ups in each of the videos, so you don't miss out on anything. But obviously, it would be great if you could come along to both. Get those likes up, get those viewing numbers up, and let's get a few more subscribers as well while we're at it. Why not? So, you've all been brought here by that thumbnail, and well, I'm sure a lot of you did know that there were 2 clubs in Barcelona. I, for one, didn't. And that other club is Espanyol. And if we just have a quick look at the map here, and as you can see there, the 2 clubs are either side of Le Hospitalet de Llobregat. So we've got Barcelona, obviously in the north, the Camp Nou there, and we've got RCD Espanyol down south. So Espanyol, founded in 1900, and obviously, like I say, got that great rivalry with FC Barcelona. And they have had some success in their history. They've won the Copa del Rey 4 times, and the last time was in 2006. So a fair few years ago, and obviously, as we know, they have just been relegated. So this is going to be another one of those videos where we use the updated database. So we're going to start in the 23-24 season with Espanyol in the 2nd tier of Spanish football, with the sole aim of getting them back into the 1st division in Spain. They do have a very nice compact 40,000 seater stadium. It's the RCD stadium, and very nice it looks too in the club colours. And they moved into that stadium fairly recently, 2009, when it was a relegation threatened season, and a former defender of theirs, Mauricio Pochettino, took charge of the team and guided them to safety with a 2-1 win over their big rivals FC Barcelona at Camp Nou. And who was manager there? Yeah, it was Pep Guardiola. They actually won the treble that season, Barcelona, with Guardiola at the helm. But Pochettino came in, the great 2-1 win against Barcelona, and actually saved them. Since then, unfortunately, they have been a little bit of a yo-yo club and, hovering between the 1st and 2nd division in Spain. And unfortunately, like I say, in the 2022-23 season, they actually did get relegated. So they are playing their football in the 23-24 season in the 2nd tier of Spanish football. And, well, my job is to try and get them back into the 1st division in Spain. And like I say, unlike the rebuild videos I've been doing recently, where they've all been simulated, this one we're going to play every game. And the added element is that there's going to be a live stream. Now, I'm not sure at this stage how many of those we're going to get. I'm just planning 1 at the moment because, well, let's face it, there are going to be 3 elements to this. 1 is whether I can actually do it or not. 2 is whether I like doing it and whether I get the interactions. And 3 is kind of a big one for me, is that whether I can actually cram all of the things that I do off camera, whether I can cram them into, say, a 2-hour live stream, particularly the transfer windows, because those transfer windows, let me tell you, and I've said this before, if you've watched any of my content before, I can spend, in the summer months of a save, I can spend 4, 5, 6 hours with a few cups of coffee, going through the upgrading facilities, upgrading the playing staff. All of that's going to have to be crammed into. In fact, the first live stream, I would very much like to get the whole of the transfer window in and a game as well. We won't be watching any of the pre-season friendlies. Spoiler, I never watch pre-season friendlies. I only use them for fitness. But I'd like to get the first league game in as well. So in a 2-hour live stream, or thereabouts 2 hours, there's a lot to fit in. Anyway, let's jump in and have a look at Espanyol. So just looking at the squad as it stands at, it's at the end of the 22-23 season. So in 4 weeks' time, we're going to be losing 9 players. There's 4 of those are actually loan players who, let's be fair, obviously didn't do very well for us because we got relegated. So we do need to be looking at the likes of Denis Suarez, 4-star player. He's only 29. He can play that attacking mid-role. He can actually play in the centre. He can play on the left as well. And just looking at his stats, I mean, the only thing that he's not great at is bravery. But great first touch, passing, technique, teamwork, vision. Absolutely brilliant. And he's no slouch either. I mean, he's not massively quick, but he's no slouch. So I am going to have to be looking at a contract for him. Whether he will sign it or not, I don't know. And he is on £25,000 a week. So that's something else that we have to bear in mind. We'll have a look at the finances shortly. There are 1 or 2 other players in there. The live stream will be where you can see what I do about all of this. Because again, another spoiler, not going to play any games today. This is all going to be done on the live stream now. More than likely it's going to be Friday evening, probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So you need to stay tuned, and it'd be great to see you in there. We can have a bit of a chat about things, but you do have to bear in mind it's a transfer window. My head will be focused on this. So if I miss a few comments, then we'll go over all of this again on Friday. But yeah, so this is the squad, and we do have 1 or 2 players in there who look half decent. I mean, Sergi Darder there is a decent looking midfield player, 4-star. He's got a value of 11 million, 29-year-old Spanish lad. Again, great passing. I mean, you would expect that of Spanish teams, wouldn't you? Great passing, great flair, great vision. So, yeah, that is the squad, and we'll go through that in a bit more depth on the live stream. And like I say, if you can't manage to get to the live stream, normally all of this is done off camera anyway, so it's not really as though you're missing anything, but I will try to go through, as much as I can by way of a catch-up in the YouTube video itself. Looking at the dynamics, team cohesion is, it's poor. As you would expect, we got relegated. Club atmosphere, though, is not too bad. I've seen them a lot worse than that when I've taken the club over. Managerial support is slightly in the red, it's average, but again, as per usual, I've only just taken the club over. So I'm not going to set a tactic up today. This will depend an awful lot on the players that I bring in. Again, I'll show you the finances in a second. But the recommendation for the squad that we have at the moment, and bear in mind, 9 of those players in the squad will be leaving unless I decide to give new contracts. But they're talking about control possession, tiki-taka and vertical tiki-taka. So if we look at the control possession and we go to choose a formation, they're actually recommending a 4-2-3-1, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. If we go to tiki-taka and go to choose a formation, a 5-2-3. Not quite sure that this is really how a Spanish team would set up, because they're normally set up to be much more attacking, much more flair. This to me looks like more of a defensive formation. But again, we'll have to have a look at this, and I don't really think we can set that up fully until we know what players are coming in. Staffing screen, we're in need of 2 coaches. We're in need of 3 performance analysts. So a little bit of work to be done there. We're short of 2 scouts. A little bit of work to be done there. The biggie for me is the director of football. Let's have a look what he's like. So it's Domingo Catuara, 50-year-old Spanish lad, 14, 15 for ability and potential, 8 for negotiating. Again, if you watch the live stream, I will go through how I set all of this up, how I set all my staff responsibilities up. So, but again, like I say, all of this is generally done off camera. So at least, if you do come along to the live stream, you will see how I set it up. I'm not saying it's the right way. It's just the way that I do it. So yeah, director of football, not looking too bad, to be fair. I've seen a lot worse, but I've seen a lot better as well. And on the medical side, we do need a physio, but I will be asking for more staff. Whether they'll give them to me is another matter. Quick look at the schedule from last season, and well, inevitably there's a lot of red dots on there. That's the reason that they got relegated. Not too many green dots, and hopefully the next season we'll have lots of green dots and we'll get promoted automatically. Fingers crossed. And looking at the club info screen, yeah, the stadium was built in 2008, moved into it in 2009, 40,000 capacity. We play in like a blue and white striped shirt. The away shirt is a very snazzy pink. And the third shirt, weirdly, is not a lot different to the home shirt. It's slightly weird that. I'm not quite sure. Should that not be like a red stripe in there? That's a bit weird. And a quick look at the finance screen. So we have 11.5 million in the bank. I don't know whether the budgets have been issued yet because I haven't pressed continue in this at all. I just loaded this up. It's introduced me as the new manager, and this is the first screen. So whether these are the budgets, I'm not sure. We have a transfer budget of 4.3 million and wage budget 372,000, of which we're actually committed to spend 300,000. So there is a little bit in there, 72,000, but with the likes of Denis Suarez on 25,000, you can see that there's not a lot of wiggle room there. And it wouldn't at all surprise me if I don't go into Denis Suarez and say, right, lad, new contract. And he comes back and says, yeah, I want 35 grand, boss. Even though we've been relegated, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Then it's a decision to make. Just looking at the debts and loans. So we did take a bank loan out in 2019 for 34.5 million, of which there's 21.5 million remaining. And we are paying that off at 325,000 per month. So there's a little bit of debt there. I mean, sponsors, we have 3.4 million per season main kit sponsor. And the projection's not looking too bad. Again, I've seen a lot worse. But then again, I've seen a lot better. And I think that is where we're going to leave this episode. If you came along to watch a bit of football, sorry about that. But just to explain the format again, there's going to be a YouTube video like this produced maybe 1 or 2 a week, I'm not sure yet, where we do the usual play 2 games, commentate on those games, catch you up on any transfer business or player injuries and whatnot. So it'll be a standard YouTube video with 2 games in there. But the twist to this save is going to be that we do a live stream at the moment on a Friday, probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'll put something in the community post about it as and when I'm, prepared to do it. I have done a few test streams, and they seem to be okay. I think I've got my head around it, but you will have to bear with me on that. But so there's going to be 2 elements to this now. Like I say, that live stream, you're going to see everything that I do off camera, which I think is a bonus for you, because you can see all of that stuff then. Whether this will work, whether people will get their heads around it, whether people will like it, I don't know. Only time will tell. But let's face it, FM23 now is kind of coming to an end. FM24 is out in well, not that many months, is it really? So I'm kind of using this as a bit of a test bed, and if it works, if I like it, if I feel comfortable with it all, I can get the information over that I need to do in in a live stream, then maybe I will carry on with it. But it's all dependent on how basically how this goes. If I get Espanyol promoted and we do okay, and I like doing the live streaming, the interactions are okay, we get plenty of people in there, we get the viewing numbers up, we get new subscriptions and likes, all that kind of good stuff that helps the YouTube channel to grow. If all of that happens, then well, FM24 will probably be doing a live stream every week, and maybe more than one. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it out till the end. Hopefully you have. There's been a lot of waffling today and not much football. Sorry about that, but this is a bit of a tester for me, and I'm just trying this format out to see if it works. So hopefully we'll see you on Friday. And if not, well, look out for the next YouTube video that comes along with the rebuild of Espanyol, and I will catch you up on everything that I've done in the live stream. And, well, maybe not everything, because that would be a video on its own, wouldn't it? But you'll get a snapshot of what's been going on. So hopefully we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for watching.